Hello again. Welcome to class 625. Wow, 625 classes. Can you believe it? It's too much work, eh? You know, I'm retired now. Semi-retired, but tirando más a retired que a semi, eh? Marta dice que no. Que ni se me ocurra. I'm sorry, but she's wrong. I'm retired now. And so it's time for me to go out to pasture. Se dice en inglés salir al prado a pastar. It's time for me to go out to pasture. All right. All right. And so I'm here for the love of the art, por amor al arte. And only for the love of the art. También me pagan, pero vamos. They pay me. Not enough. Yeah. Not enough to sacarme de pobre. No, not enough. But in any case, I'm here for you. Eh? Todo por la causa, right? Una santa cruzada de dotar de inglés a los españoles. Moriré en el intento. But no se llega a la categoría de vencido sin haber luchado. ¿A qué sí? ¿Ah? O sea, hay que luchar. No hay nobleza ni luchar. Hay nobleza en luchar aunque termines vencido. Aunque termines vencido. All right. So I'm here to teach you English. All right. Let's continue. Continue. La pronunciación de continue cuesta a muchos españoles. Continue. Let's continue where we left off yesterday. All right, when we left on and learn to speak up, page 128. Number 8. Yo iba al cine cuando me encontré con Morgan. Wow, Morgan, el famoso Morgan. Sí, me encontré. Iba al cine cuando me encontré con Morgan. I was going to the cinema when I ran into Morgan. Morgan, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in prison. Yeah, Morgan está en la Chidona, right? He's in prison. Morgan. Gus Morgan. Gustavo Morgan. Gus Morgan. Yeah. You remember Gus Morgan? No, you don't. Okay, I'll tell you about Gus Morgan. But in any case, I was going to the movies, or I was going to the cinema. Cinema es el lugar. El teatro, el cine. Now, going to the movies is ir al cine, para ver ir a las pelis, digamos. I was going to the movies when I ran into Morgan. And I said, Morgan, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in jail. I said, oh, I'm on parole. Parole. Sin palabra en italiano. But on parole es estar con la condicional. ¿Sí? O sea, palabra de honor, that you will behave well. And so Morgan's on parole. And so I have to change in the method, el método, I have to change the story. The story is Gus Morgan used to be rich. He used to be famous. He used to appear in all the gossip magazines, las revistas del corazón, de chismorreo. Gossip es chismorreo. He used to. Cosas que antes hacía, antes era, antes podía. But now he's in prison. And he has to get used to a new life. He has to get used to the food. It's not very good. He used to eat in the best restaurants. But now he has to get used to prison food. He used to sleep on a beautiful king-size bed. But now he has to get used to sleeping in a prison cell. Very small, in a very uncomfortable bed. He used to be the king of the mountain. He used to do whatever he wanted. But now he has to get used to prison discipline. All right. But I saw Morgan yesterday when I was going to the movies. I said, Gus Morgan? Yeah, Richard, hi. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in prison. No, I am on parole. Oh, so how long were you in prison? Only 7 months. 7 months? But the sentence was for 10 years. Well, I pulled some strings. You what? I pulled some strings. Tiré de unas cuerditas. O sea, tenía enchufes. O sea, I pulled strings como una marioneta. You know, you pull a string and so I pulled some strings and now I'm out. All right, Gus Morgan. Murieron cuando reparaban los cables. They died when they were repairing the cables. You need to be careful. Electricians need to be careful. They die it was high voltage, alto voltaje aquí. Murieron cuando reparaban. They died when they were repairing. Es curioso. En español tenéis dos formas. Murieron cuando reparaban los cables o murieron cuando estaban reparando los cables. You can say both. In English, el pasado reparaban, conocían, sabían, no existe. So, cuando estaban reparando, when they were repairing the cables. Pensaba en ti cuando me llamaste. Telepathy, right? I was thinking about you when you called. You know, it's a ring. Hello? Hey, Richard, yeah? This is Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, I was just thinking about you. It's telepathy, right? I was just thinking about you. Oh, really, Richard? Yeah. What were you thinking? Oh, I was thinking really good things about you. All right. So I invited Jennifer out to the movies. All right. So, pensaba en ti cuando me llamaste. Cuando me llamaste, estaba pensando justo en ti. I was thinking about you, Carmenchu. I was thinking about you when you called. All right. ¿Qué hacías anoche cuando te llamé? What were you doing last night when I called you? What were you doing last night when I called you? I was getting ready for bed. You called me at 11:45. Yeah, I was getting ready for bed. Were you really? Yeah, I was getting ready for bed. And I had a nightcap. Excuse me? I was having a nightcap. A nightcap. Cap es gorra o gorro. Yeah? Un gorro para dormir, para la noche. No. A nightcap es última copa. Para tapar la noche. Cap también es tapa. O sea, para tapar la noche. Benedictine, for example. Something. To have a nightcap. I was having a nightcap when you called me. ¿Qué hacía tu mujer cuando llegaste a casa? What was your wife doing when you got home? She was waiting for me. Oh, how do you know? How do you know she was waiting for you? Because my wife is always waiting for me when I get home. I get home every day at 6 o'clock in the evening. Always. I always arrive at 6 o'clock. And when I open the door, I say, "Darling, I'm home." And I can hear her coming. She's coming with my robe, mi batín, and my whiskey. All right, it's perfect. Okay, yes. What was your wife? ¿Qué hacía tu mujer cuando llegaste a casa anoche? Anoche no dice. What was your wife doing? I've lost my place. ¿Qué hacía tu mujer cuando llegaste a casa? What was your wife doing when you got home? To get home. What was your wife doing when you got home? Cuando los vi, estaban entrando en el restaurante. When I saw them, they were going into the restaurant. Ahora bien, si yo hubiera estado sentado en el restaurante, diría coming in, porque vienen en mi dirección. When I saw them, they were coming into the restaurant. Ahora, si estoy fuera en la calle, when I saw them, they were going into the restaurant. So, coming, going. Or they were entering the restaurant, también nos vale. When they were entering the restaurant. Pero no le decimos entering in. En español sí, entraban en el restaurante. Pero en inglés decimos entraban el restaurante. No decimos enter in, except in one case. Yes, no es enter in, it's enter into. Entrar en una conversación, entrar en una discusión, entrar en una discusión acalorada, to enter into. To enter into an argument, to enter into a discussion. But physically, la entrada en un recinto is to enter. Enter, yes. To enter heaven, entrar en el cielo, is to enter heaven. Yes. To enter. Or to go into or come into. Todo iba bien hasta que tú viniste. Everything was going fine. Everything was going well. Everything was going great Until you came, you ruined everything. Yes, everything was going fine. Everything was going well until you came. La conocí cuando ella trabajaba en administración, o sea, el departamento administrativo. I met her, la conocí. I met her when she was working in administration, when she was working in the administration department. Yes, that's where I met her. Okay. Lo encontré cuando estaba limpiando la cocina. I found it. Fine, I found it. When I was cleaning the kitchen. Richard, you cleaning the kitchen? Yeah, why not? I can clean the kitchen. I have the same right as you have to clean the kitchen. Come on, Richard, when was the last time you cleaned the kitchen? Well, it depends on your definition of cleaning the kitchen. Cleaning parts of the kitchen, the stove, la cocina, the dishes, yeah. The last time was this morning. I cleaned the kitchen a little bit to clean the kitchen. Lo encontré cuando estaba limpiando la cocina. I found it when I was cleaning the kitchen. How often do you clean the kitchen? Partially every day. Completely from top to bottom? Never. I've never cleaned the kitchen completely. Hasta el horno. You open the oven and clean the oven. Do you like cleaning ovens? You do. Marta enjoys cleaning ovens. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Cleaning. All right. Ella le dejó a él. Ella le dejó porque se dio cuenta que él le mentía a ella. She left him. Pobrecito, pero sí es mentiroso. She left him because she realized he was lying to her. Que le estaba mintiendo. She left him because she realized that he was lying to her. Yes. I remember a specific case. The first time I came to Spain in my life, I was 20 years old. I was with a group of American students. This is an interesting story. I was with a group of American students. We flew from New York to Paris, and we spent about 5 days in Paris. And then we caught a train. We took a train from Paris to Barcelona. A night train, I remember. And when we reached Barcelona, we were taken, voz pasiva, fuimos llevados. We were taken by bus to the University of Barcelona in El Diagonal. At that time, 1972, it wasn't called El Diagonal, it was called, típicamente, Avenida del Generalísimo. Okay. And there we were in a student residence for 2 weeks in Barcelona before coming to Madrid. We were for 2 weeks. And in that student residence, in August, it was practically empty. It was for us. But there was a group of Spanish students of medicine, and one was studying, Jordi, típico, he was studying medicine. One of the American girls started going out with this young man, and the relationship became very serious. And finally they got married. He finished his medicine, but later he wasn't a doctor. He was practicing as a doctor, but he wasn't a doctor. He didn't have. So it was totally illegitimate. And after 5 years, they got a divorce. So he was lying to her. All right, ella le dijo, porque se dio cuenta que él la mentía o le mentía. She left him because she realized that he was lying to her. Lo perdí cuando cambiaba la rueda. I lost it when I was changing the tire. Yeah, with the jack, decís aquí un gato. We say a jack, como Jack the Ripper, a jack. And we jack up the car, you take off the bad tire, you put on the good one, you put in the lug nuts, tighten them, tighten them, and then you lower the jack. And you're ready to go. All right. Now, if you lose the lug nuts, those cuatro tuercas, you have a problem, right? Well, you go to the other tires, and you take one off each one. Because the tires can move with 3 nuts only. And then you use the 3 on the other one, and you go to the city and you buy additions. So you can do it, but don't lose the nuts. So, lo perdí cuando cambiaba la rueda. I lost it. I lost it when I was changing the tire. I lost it. El teléfono sonó cuando yo me estaba durmiendo. Ring. The telephone rang when I was falling asleep. Yeah. Estaba entrando en brazos de Morfeo. Okay, mi primer sueño. All right, so the telephone rang when I was falling asleep. And then I couldn't go back to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah? Has that ever happened to you? Has that ever happened to you? Blas, has that ever happened to you? Epi, has that ever happened to you? Yeah. It's happened to me several times. Lately, no, because my telephone is always silenced. And silence is golden. El silencio es oro. All right. And so it doesn't happen to me now. All right. But the problem is, if somebody calls you, the screen lights up. The screen lights up, and it can wake you up. So keep the telephone out of your field of vision, okay, when you go to bed. And so the telephone won't ring when you are falling asleep. Richard, yeah. Have you ever fallen asleep in class? Once I fell asleep in class. I was 18. My last year of high school, secondary school, I fell asleep in class. I was sitting in the front row. Estaba en primera fila. I fell asleep. Yeah. And I was a good student. I was one of the best students in the class, English class, lengua inglesa. And the teacher says, Rick, my name was Rick, are you okay? The students had left. I was still asleep. The class was over. I said, are you okay? You fell asleep. And I explained. It was in Mayo, pollen. There was a lot of pollen. And in the morning, I took an antihistamine. You understand? And it didn't work. 3 hours later, or 4 hours later, I took another antihistamine. It just, got completely. It was impossible to stay awake. Moraleja. The moral of the story. Don't take more than one antihistamine, okay? Especially if you have class and you're sitting on the front row. Now, as a teacher, I have never fallen asleep. But I remember one student I had many years ago, Joaquin. His name was Joaquin. And his English was not bad, so we had conversations. But he was very boring. And for 1 hour, talking with Joaquin, I was starting, as the teacher, I was starting, que el profesor se duerma en clase, toma. And I was pinching myself to stay awake. I remember 1 year later, another teacher of mine had Joaquin. And he said to me, Richard, I fall asleep with this guy. And I said, oh, that's Joaquin. Welcome to the club of teachers of Joaquin. All right. But Joaquin was a good guy. Eh? He was a good guy. Yeah. He was in public relations, communication. And this is in 1982. The World Cup was in Spain, the football, the Copa del Mundo. And he gave me tickets. He said, look, nos sobran entradas. And he said, I don't like football. Joaquin said, I don't like football. Here, Richard, here's tickets for 4 games, including the final. Wow, thank you very much, Joaquin. And he gave me tickets for 3 preliminary games and the final. Now, in 1982, the final in Bernabeu Stadium was between Italy and Germany. Do you remember Sandro Pertini and Helmut Schmidt, serious German, and Sandro Pertini, a crazy Italian, and Paolo Rossi? You remember? Okay. Now, the night before the final, I only had 1 ticket left, 1 ticket for the final. Joaquin calls and he said, on second thought, los británicos dicen on second thoughts. Literalmente en segundo pensamiento o en segundos pensamientos. Means, pensándolo bien, I would like to go. Can I have the ticket? I said, sure, Joaquin. Yeah, it was a gift. Eso se llama Indian giver. In the United States, we say Indian giver. Dador indio. Literalmente, give el que da. Porque the Indian gives you something y luego se lo pide otra vez. Pero era un regalo. Sí, pero me lo puedes devolver. And so Joaquin was an Indian giver, and I didn't go to the final. I missed the final. Well, I watched it on television, but I didn't go to the final. All right. But Joaquin was a good guy. I remember. Good guy. But he was boring. All right. Poor Joaquin. El teléfono, no, ¿dónde estoy? Pensé en ello mientras conducía mi coche. Pensé en ello, en el tema. Pensé en ello cuando conducía. I thought about it when I was driving my car. You know, it's interesting. The first car I bought in Spain was in 1978. I bought a Simca 1200, okay, 1978, in the summer of 1978. The second car I bought was a Peugeot 505 in 1982. All right. Now, in the first car, the Simca, they stole the radio. Breaking the window, they stole the radio. All right. I replaced the radio with a new one. When I bought the Peugeot, all right, they stole the radio a second time. And I decided not to buy another radio. And from 1982 to 1992, 10 years, no radio. And I spent a lot of time in my car thinking. And I think it was very positive. Because you have the radio, it's providing entertainment and you're not necessarily thinking. But I spent probably 2 hours a day in the car. 2 hours a day, 200 days a year. That's 400 hours per year. 10 years, 4,000 hours thinking. And I think it was a good experience for me, and it was good. Maybe I became more intelligent. Thanks to not having, gracias a no tener. Fíjate cómo lo estructuro. Thanks to not having a radio. All right. Fui a verla cuando me enteré de su problema. I went to see her when I found out about her problem. Or I went to see her when I learned about her problem. I went to see her and I said, Dorotea, what's the problem? I learned your problem. Yeah. All right. Él lo rompió cuando lavaba los platos. He broke it. He broke it. When did he break it? When did he break it? He broke it. When did he break it? When did he break it? He broke it when? He broke it when he was washing the dishes. He broke it when he was washing the dishes. Okay, well, what did he break? He broke a plate. He broke it when he was washing the dishes. All right. Se lo di a ellos cuando salían del hotel. Se lo di a ellos cuando salían del hotel. I gave it to them when they were leaving the hotel. I gave it to them when they were leaving the hotel. What did you give them? I gave them the tickets for the big game. I gave it to them when they were leaving, cuando salían, when they were leaving the hotel. Lo hicimos cuando el profesor no estaba mirando. Lo hicimos cuando el profe no estaba mirando. We did it when the teacher wasn't looking. Well, John Kiter is his name, I remember. Algebra class de álgebra. And the teacher was writing an equation on the blackboard, and John Kiter struck a match. You could smell the phosphorus. And the teacher turned around. He said, "Who struck a match?" And John Kiter stood up and said, "I did, sir. I'm sorry." And the teacher said, "Don't do it again, please." And that was the story. I still remember that. And I was only 13 years old. But I have to go now. But I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.